Okay, so I just wanted to start. I do have my books. There are 20 each. They teach you how to do what I do. I make it really simple. And this one was my first one, and it teaches you how to do everything just real quickly. The method is the same in all the books. This one is the physics of mediumship. I want to take the woo-woo out of it, okay? And the other one is great for caregivers, first responders, and medical personnel, because it teaches you how to connect to the person even if they're unconscious. Isn't that cool? So how I became intuitive, I mean, I'm a down-to-earth Nevada cowgirl, and I don't do woo-woo at all. What happened in 1990 is I was doing a horseback therapy program with disabled kids, and I heard a nonverbal child speak to me. So once I had it confirmed, the suggestion was made to learn to communicate with the horses because all animals are telepathic. Well, and I was an idiot. I went, okay, that's what I'm going to do. I had, and there were no books at the time. I mean, no books. So I just set about doing it, and I was married to a really gifted horse trainer at the time. And so we always had strange horses coming in, and he'd go, come on, talk to this one. So I really had, kind of on-the-ground training with communicating with all of those horses. It was really, really interesting. I only wanted to communicate with animals. That's all I wanted to do. And of course, man plans, God laughs. And the thing that saved me really was physics, finding out about physics, seeing the movie What the Bleep, and realizing, it's all just energy, frequency, and vibration. And that's what really, got me really interested. And I love how physics and spirituality are just melding together right now. It's so cool. Everybody can learn to do this. I have taught hundreds and hundreds of people how to do this. When I do a workshop, it's so cool because everybody gets the ebook ahead of time, and everybody shows up. Morning is questions and answers. We break for lunch. The afternoon, I start pairing people up, and they start doing readings for each other that fast. So they're very easy techniques, and I have really broken it down. The one thing that I noticed about what other people teach is they miss the biggest part of this, is the speed that it happens. If you're in communication with an animal, all telepathically, it sounds like this. Hey, did you, what about, it's that fast. Well, you guys have, we've all been trained to have a polite conversation. I talk, you wait, you talk, I wait. Well, if you do that, try to do that with an animal or a person on the other side, or to get information from the universe, you're just going to miss all of it. So my biggest guidance for you today, my biggest gift to you is listen faster, okay? It's the most important part. I have a special in October for anybody that books a reading. You get my free ebook. I have this one available, and so it just goes over everything. So anybody who books a reading in October will get the free ebook. So the first thing I want to cover is medical and veterinary intuition. This is so important. The most important part about this is disease is caused by stuck negative emotions. So disease is issues in the tissues. And if we find the stuck negative emotions and release them, we can heal the physical body. The physical body can heal itself. So it's very, very important to be able to not only just get the disease, the gist of the disease, but then also figure out what the cause of it is. And anybody that wants energy healing instructions that includes a medical intuitive handout, email me, I'll send it to you. It's my gift to everybody. I get a lot of calls from veterinarians and physicians, and they're going, we're stuck. We don't have any idea what this is, but we really need help on figuring out what this is. And it's so incredible because they give me the name of the person, their age, and boom, I got it that fast. Because I do my own work where I hear things very, very quickly. And a lot of times it's like, should I interrupt them now and tell them, or should I let them keep talking a little bit? So, because you want to get that information. Veterinary intuition, the horses, the dogs, the cats, they can't tell us what's wrong. And so I love doing this because you get the information, and in some ways, I'm just going to refer them right back to a veterinarian. So I do not diagnose, I do not prescribe, but I can sure tell you what I feel is going on. And then they can take steps to actually facilitate healing on the animal. And of course, you can do the same thing with the human too. Animal communication. Oh my God, I love animal communication. You know, that's how I got my start. And I really think my show should be called, I Can't Make This Stuff Up, but I want to use a different S word because it's too specific. It's too direct. And it's just amazing what they tell us. If we just learn to listen in a different way. And we have to remember, it's going to be over the top of our question. We're going to get 2 words out, and then they're going to be telling us back what the deal is. Okay, so it's really important to remember that. And again, you can, one of the biggest things I get with animals is that a person's grieving the loss of a pet. And I tell them, you just got a new one. Well, yes, I did. Well, that's the same spirit. The spirits come right back in the same one. And you're still grieving, and the dog's trying to help you heal, or the cat or the horse or whatever. They're trying to help you heal, and you're not listening. You're just not listening. It's the same spirit, new body. You get the new and improved. And remember, there's only one rule when it comes to reincarnation, and it's with God, all things are possible. So you can put 10 spirits in one body, 1 spirit in 10 bodies. Okay, so it's really important to remember that. I lost 3 dogs in 4 years. I got 2 puppies last year. Both of the puppies do the behaviors, really weird behaviors that the other 3 did. It's incredible how when they come back. And it just heals your heart. It's just incredible. Horse communication is different because we're dealing with 1,200-pound animals that can kill you. So the horse communication is just very, very specialized. I do a lot of professional barrel racers. I've done Fallon Taylor, who's a $1 million barrel racing winner. And it's incredible what they tell us. And they can't tell you that they hurt. And a little chiropractic and a little bit of AccuSpoke, which is microcurrent therapy, and most of the time they're just right as rain. So we just have to make sure that we take care of them because they're not designed by nature to graze or run. I mean, they're designed by nature to graze and run from predators, and that's it. And we're doing a lot of stuff on their back. It's not designed to do that. If we were going to really, do the horses a favor, they should have a back like a camel, so that when we put our weight on, it goes down to level, and we put our weight on and it dips even more. So it's just really important that they get regular maintenance. Intuitive communication, I had to write a book on this. I didn't want to, but guidance told me I had to. That's the 3rd book. There's been so many occasions where I communicated with somebody in a coma. One story is a client called me from Hawaii, and she said her uncle was in a coma from a ruptured brain aneurysm. Well, you guys know the survival rate on that is like zilch. Anyway, and I called her for a lost cat reading. So it's like, and then as I'm dialing, I'm hearing cat found. And I went, what? So I called her. I said, I hear you found your cat. She goes, Terri, the cat's coming in the door right now. Which I thought was really weird. And anyway, I said, but I'm hearing man sick. She goes, yes, uncle's in the hospital, ruptured brain aneurysm. They're asking us to disconnect life support. I said, do you want me to talk to him for you? She said, oh, I'd love that. And I tuned into him, and he was so articulate. That under this window, there's a table for 2 people and this color tablecloth, and my bills and my checkbook are right there. Please have someone take care of them. I mean, that's such an earthy thing to be concerned with. And I thought, okay. And then I was smelling green coffee. And I told her, I'm smelling green coffee. She goes, oh, he's a coffee farmer. And I went, okay. And I said, he's showing me this thing that looks like a little motorized rickshaw. She goes, well, that's what he brings the coffee beans in out of the field. So, I mean, he was giving me all of these specific things. And the cute thing was he was sitting on a fence. I could see him sitting on a fence. So I asked him, I said, do you want your family to try energy healing? He said, oh, yeah, that would be great. So we got him in touch with an energy healer, and the energy healer worked on him, and he walked out of the hospital, went home, back to work. It was so cute because they said before he had his aneurysm, he was since he survived his aneurysm, he's still in. Isn't that funny? I just love working with that whole family. But intuitive communication is really important. If you have a caregiver, somebody who's working with nonverbal kids, medical personnel, it's just incredible that you can learn to do it, and you could just tune into the person, give them unconditional love, and make your 3-point connection, and boom, you know exactly if this is a medical condition, if they're drunk, if they're in a having a diabetic problem, or if they're just drunk. You can just tell the difference instantly, and you don't even have to smell because usually you can't. Mediumship for people and pets. Oh my gosh, this is so much fun. I love talking with people and pets on the other side, and everybody goes to the same place. Everybody's fine. And the big thing that I do that's sometimes different from other people is I use physics. I use physics on all of it, but especially on this. We have to look at the physics of it, positive and negative energy. So when someone goes to the other side, we're 99% energy anyway. So when somebody goes to the other side, only the positive stuff can go with them. Everything negative gets shed off and left behind in the earthly realm. Well, if you don't have discernment, if you can't tell the difference between positive and negative energy, then you can tune into the negative energy garbage that they've left behind, because it looks like, feels like, and sounds like the deceased, but it's not them. It's not them, okay? It's just their garbage. And the only reason I go dumpster diving is to find an apology. Like if you had a horrible parent and my client needs that apology, I'll go dumpster diving and find that apology that they did in their moment of passing, like, oh man, did I screw up? Okay, that's the only time I'll do it. So you should never get anything negative from somebody when you're having a reading about the other side. Never. Because if that's happening, then you're dumpster diving, or your practitioner's dumpster diving. Okay, it's really important to remember that. Everything negative stays behind in the earthly realm. And the ironic thing is, that's the stuff that causes hauntings and poltergeist and that concentrated negative energy. Isn't that amazing? We just don't think about it in that way. I also do intuitive life coaching. I love doing that because what happens is I usually start a reading on a pet, and then it's like guidance just sort of taps me on the shoulder and goes, hey, look, you better look. And then it's like, oh boy, we got an issue here. And so either they're grieving, or they have a health issue, or they have financial issues, or they're having a relationship problem. And sometimes it's all of them. So then I get to ask permission, because if they give me for an animal reading, it is unethical to immediately switch and go, hey, we got to talk about your grief. So I will ask permission. I'm getting this on you. Are you comfortable working on that? You have to ask permission. I've got really, really strict ethics. A lot of times they just start bawling because somebody's really just gotten to what's really been bothering them, and we find solutions, and it's very, very healing for them. One of the fun things I do is remote viewing and map dowsing. Oh God, this is so fun. I have found gold on maps. I have found water, for people that are drilling a well, and I do it over the phone by looking at the map. I don't have to go out there with the sticks. Isn't that funny? It's really cool. You're just looking for the energy of it. Water's got energy. Gold has energy. I have a friend who collects gold nuggets, and she has them in boxes, and they're all labeled. And she can put them in my hand. I can tell her where they're from in the world. It's so fun to do that. It's like, let's stump the intuitive. But it's really fun to do that. And she'll go, how are you doing that? I go, well, because the different parts of the earth have different vibrations and frequencies. So that's really fun to do. The other thing I use it for all the time is finding lost pets, because you can look at a map and you're focused in on the energy of the animal through the owner. And there's so many times where you go, oh my goodness, he's 3 doors down. Oh my goodness, he's gotten picked up. He's not in the area at all. And I even try to expand the map, and I've had some really fun experiences doing that. And being able to find, I was 3 for 3 1 week. I couldn't believe it. Because to me, if your cat gets out, that's it. They're gone. You're never going to get them back. And every single one of these people got their cat back. It was so cool. So when you start doing this, when if you get a book, if you take private training from me, if you do any of those things, you're going to be able to do all of this, or you can pick and choose what part you want to do. But I've trained so many people that go, Terri, I don't need you anymore. And I go, that's great. And they go, I'm doing it. I'm getting paid for it. And I go, all right, good job. And they go, I've had people go, aren't you worried about the competition? I go, are you freaking kidding me? No. This has a wonderful ripple effect. So if I teach people, like a horse person, how to do readings on horses, and they're at a stable with 40, 50 horses, don't you think they're going to be helping every single one of those horses in that facility? And not all of them are going to call me. Do you know what I mean? So it has this wonderful, wonderful ripple effect, and I just love it. So that's pretty much all of the things that I do. These books can teach you how to do it. I love doing private training. So we can either do it like on Zoom or FaceTime or something like that. So I have some people actually come to the house because I live in Minden, so I'm not very far. And it's just really fun. I love my work, and I love helping people to heal their lives and to help their animals too. Any questions? Oh, I forgot to tell you guys, if you want all three of them, then it's only $50. You could save $10 if you get all three of them. So I wanted to tell you guys that. But, yes.
So if you can sort of hear a voice, or you feel like you're communicating and it's positive, how do you know it's the actual being that you're trying to communicate with and not another being that's kind of pretending to be that being?
Oh, no, that just doesn't happen on the other side. The vibration's too high. You know, the other side's a God vibration. So the vibration's too high. Every once in a while you'll hear somebody else, but you just know. After you've been doing this, you just know. And in the books, I teach a 3-point connection. That 3-point connection, it's heart to heart, third eye to heart. So you have a triangle, and it's a point of physics. Again, anytime you have 3 points, energy can flow. So you stay connected to that person until you disconnect. You know, you maintain that 3-point connection. Plus, if you're grounded, then you're always going to be spot on too. And there's so many times where I get stuff and I go, okay, this makes no sense to me, but here's what I'm getting. And a lot of times they'll start laughing, they'll start crying, they're going, oh my goodness, that is just spot on. So you'll be able to get feedback if you're doing readings for other people. But it's so easy to learn to do. I have to tell you guys too, I don't take myself seriously, but I really take my work seriously. And I will put on a gypsy fortune teller outfit and go to corporate events and do readings. It's hilarious because they don't expect you to be real. Do you know what I mean? They don't expect you to be real. And then I had one lady come in one time and I went, oh my God, who died? And she just burst into tears. And I thought, oh no, I'm going to be in trouble. I don't want sending people out of my little booth and they're bawling. You know what I mean? And I was able to help her by communicating with the person she had just recently lost. So this stuff just happens when you're in that group. Oh, it's wonderful. It's just wonderful. So trust it. There's not too much malicious mischief when you're connecting with the other side because the vibration's so high. And if your vibration's high, you don't have to worry about that, really. Okay, anybody else? Any other questions? Yes.
Yeah, you have to like be born with this gift. Like there's some things that are gifted, but you're saying that
anyone can do it. I have taught hundreds of people who were even disbelievers. You know, we're all born with 5 physical senses, right? But we're born with 5 intuitive senses, which are intuition, clairvoyance, clairsentience, clairaudience, and claircognizance. Clair just means clear. So we have clear seeing, clear hearing, clear feeling, clear knowing. We all have all of it. You got all the clairs. I always joke this is the Claire sisters. Everybody has all of them. So you just have to learn to stay out of your own way, have no ego. Ego is probably the bane of this work because we have a need to be right. You can't. Oh my goodness. If you have a need to be right, you'll screw up. There's been times when I've been given wrong information, known it was wrong information. And my guidance just keeps going, tell them, tell them. And I go, but it's wrong. We're having this, telepathic conversation. Tell them, I can't. And I tell the person, and a couple weeks later, I hear back from them. Hey, Terry, remember you did it? Oh, yeah, you're the one I gave the wrong information to. You knew it was wrong? Yeah, what happened? Good. Well, I found the right horse because of what you told me not to do. Isn't that something? So you, even when you hear it and you're told to tell the wrong information, it is in the person's best interest. So you just have to get out of your own way and not have an ego or, a stake in the outcome. It's so fun to do this. Oh my goodness, I love it. The only thing I can't do is I can't go to horse shows anymore. I can't go to dog shows, because I just get overwhelmed with, with information. So any other questions?
I don't have a question, but I think it's absolutely fascinating how you make the science into it and you take a lot of the stigma out of it, because a lot of people think, very similar things that other people have it, but we all do.
Yes.
And there's such a stigma around like mediumship and stuff. And
Sure.
I get it. I'm a Nevada girl too, born and bred. So, I get it. And I'm also a very much so woo-woo girl. And I was like the weird goth girl in class. It's just, there's a lot of stigma around it.
Right.
And I love that it's evolving into science
It is
and everything
science.
else. And I love how you piece it together and you present it in such a wholesome, bright way. Like you're right. When you're connecting on a certain level, you like the stuff below, the garbage, the dumpster
Right.
diving, like you don't need that.
No.
You're not connecting with any of that. And I love the way that you present it.
Well, thank you. That's really
welcome.
nice. I just love my work, and I work 7 days a week because I love my work, and I love teaching other people too. That's one of my highlights is when I watch them, because if we're working together, once I see you've got it, you're grounded, you've got your 3-point connection, you're out of your own way. Once I see that you've got that, you'll start doing readings for me.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really fun because there's not a lot of, I don't share public information about my life.
Right.
So it's pretty fun to say, hey, come talk to my horse. Why don't you talk to my dog Daisy? And it's really fun because they'll just nail it after just a couple hours of work. It's mostly getting out of your own way. And I really do encourage people to do energy healing too, because we all have a bunch of garbage. I picture those long cotton picker bags, those canvas bags that the cotton pickers use. They're like 10, 15 feet long, right? Big strap across your body. Well, that's where we put all our garbage. And if somebody tapped you on the shoulder and said, hey, why don't you just cut that strap and walk away from your garbage? We would grab it to us. No, it's mine, lest I forget. So we want to hang on to that garbage, and it doesn't serve us. The happy stuff is like little freaking fairies around your head. It's not in that garbage bag. And so we need to make sure we can get rid of our own garbage to raise our own vibration so that we're on that higher level, that higher frequency. And a lot of times you can just raise your vibration and frequency with intention, just with freaking intention. It's amazing how simple it is once we figure out that we don't have to be like this. One of the greatest things is having somebody who's terminal and you tell them, okay, this is what your cause is, and go see this energy healer. I could never say, oh, let me do the energy healing for you. I wouldn't do that anyway, because people need to heal themselves, because disease is disempowerment. And so if somebody gets hands-on healing done, they haven't got their power back. So the disease could come back because they still haven't found the root cause, which is disempowerment. So I send people to this energy healer that I know, and everybody's gotten healed. I have one person that didn't listen, and she's passed. She did not listen. I told her what the issue was, and she wouldn't let go of it. Couldn't forgive her husband for killing himself. Yeah, it is a tough one. But because she felt like he was saying she wasn't worth sticking around for. Yeah. And it is hard. It's a hard one. But, I lost my husband. I survived that, thrived from it, So we all have these obstacles that we put in our path so that we can, grow from it. Some we get before we come into physical, and others we pull in through our intention. So, yes.
Can we talk more about the training that you offer?
I have different hours, an hour, 3 hours. I think I even have like an all-day one. They're all on my website. I have cards here. My website's on it. I forgot what's that little thing that you just tap your phone into, the little square thing?
QR code?
Yeah. I actually have a QR code. You can hit it and go right to my website. I forgot it. I had it printed out and everything. But I have all the packages, on my website. Oh gosh, I love teaching this. Because if you just watch somebody just blossom and they're not intuitive, they're even afraid of it, they're insecure, and I was like that when I started. I was a mess. Ooh. I just think how far I've come. but I was really a mess. And so it's taken a lot of work. I'm still working on me, you know, on being more clear, because I think we can just keep getting more and more clear and getting more and more information. You know, it's fascinating to me. And having physics and the base in physics, it takes all the woo-woo out of it, and you just go, hey, this is real. This is real stuff, you know, that we're doing. I had to euthanize a horse. She had really bad laminitis, which means their feet hurt. I thought, I got to tell her what's going on. And I went out there and I talked to her, you know, mentally. And I said, feet hurt, not better, can't be better. Release from body. And she said, like other horse? I said, what? She said, other horse fly around. I said, what? She said, yeah. And she showed me a beautiful visual image of another halflinger, because I'm addicted to halflingers, and with a wide white blaze. I said, Maggie? She said, yes, Maggie, fly. I said, you see her? She goes, yeah. And I said, do same as Maggie? She said, yes, please. Isn't it amazing? So when I put her down, and now I can be in the house, in a room, and there's two halflinger horses chasing each other around the room, about 4 feet off the ground. You look at it and you go, okay, yeah, I see it, but I don't have to react to it, but I can see it. They're having fun. You know, so even when they're in non-physical, they can still be with you, and you know, they think it's really cool. They get to come in the house. You know, they don't even have to ask. They just show up. So it's weird, but at the same time, it just heals your heart. It just does. It just makes you feel so good.
That's sweet.
Yeah. And I have another horse that has laminitis, and she's full of piss and vinegar. Does zippers, does it Velcro on your sleeves. She gives you a slime facial. She says it's kisses, but it's a slime facial. And she says, no, I'm good. I'm good. She doesn't want to go. I even showed her, we took her over and showed her, you know, after the other one was deceased. And she said, okay, bye. You know, it was just real, not the reaction you would think that they would have, because that had been her friend for a couple of years. And it's just, they're just okay with it. It's like they get it better than we do, I swear. Really. So anybody else? Any other questions? But just know you have this in you already. You've turned it off in childhood. So now it's just a matter of learning to turn it back on so that you can use it. And it's really fun, especially if you have kids. You become a human lie detector. Oh, when I started learning this, and I have 2-step kids, I feel sorry for them, because I go, no, don't even do that. No, let's try the truth this time. Because they just go to open their mouth, and I knew they were going to lie. And they would sit there, and I go, okay, here's what I'm getting. That's what you did. Well, yeah. You know, I caught him every single time. Isn't that amazing? So, and it works really good when you get near somebody that's got negative energy, and you find yourself backing up. Also, know this is a technique. You know how two people face each other when they're having a conversation, you know, when you're standing up having a conversation. And if you feel yourself wanting to back up or back away, 3/4 of your body, just sit this way. You can still look at them, but you've protected your third and heart chakra. So that's a really good technique, because then you're not rude. You're just sort of changing your body position. But that way it's like you don't get, you know, attacked, energetically attacked. So you just learn all this stuff as you go. Isn't that cool? Anything else? But seriously, if you're interested in this, do it. You know, schedule a reading if you want, or get one of the books or all of the books. Go on the website, look for the different packages that I have. I love doing this. It's so much fun. And if you're local, you can come out to Minden. It's pretty fun. And then I'll have you do readings on my horses and my dogs. Isn't that cool? I mean, it's when I do the workshops, and you can also schedule workshops if you've got like 4 or 5 friends that are interested in it, and you can schedule a workshop. And oh my goodness, I just love it. And everybody will be doing readings for each other by the afternoon. It is that bad. I just don't like woo-woo. And I don't like making this complicated, not when these are abilities that we already have. We already have these abilities. Okay, anybody else? Okay, well, thank you all for coming. It was really wonderful being able to share this with you. And if anybody needs any books or you want to get business cards, so you have my contact information, feel free.